Set the brake lever so that it is parallel to the ground, and then remove the upper bleed screw using a 2mm Allen key. And insert the oil funnel and the oil stopper. Be careful about the direction of the oil stopper. Attach a 7mm socket wrench and connect the hose of the syringe to the bleed nipple, and then loosen the bleed nipple by 1/8 of a turn to open it. Push the plunger of the syringe to add oil. The oil will start coming out from the oil funnel. Continue adding oil until there is no more air mixed in with the oil that is coming out. Once air stops coming out, temporarily close the bleed nipple. Do not continually squeeze and release the lever at this point. Otherwise, air bubbles may remain mixed in with the oil inside the caliper, and it will take longer to bleed the air. If you do that by mistake, drain out all of the oil and then add oil again. Connect the tube fitted with the bag to the bleed nipple and then loosen the bleed nipple. After a little while, the oil and air will flow naturally from the bleed nipple into the tube. In this way, it will be possible to easily extract the greater part of the air remaining inside the brake system. It may help to shake the hose gently or to tap the reservoir tank or caliper gently with a screwdriver or move the position of the caliper. The oil level in the oil funnel will drop at this time. So be sure to keep adding oil to maintain the oil level so that air does not enter through the port. Once air stops coming out from the bleed nipple, temporarily tighten the bleed nipple. And then pull out the oil stopper. With the brake lever depressed, open and close the bleed nipple in rapid succession to release any air bubbles which may be in the calipers. Repeat this procedure about 2 to 3 times. After that, tighten the bleed nipple again. Wipe the mineral oil around the bleed nipple and replace the bleed nipple cover. If the brake lever is then operated, air bubbles in the system will rise up through the port into the oil funnel. Once the bubbles stop appearing, depress the brake lever as far as it'll go. The normal condition is for the lever to be stiff at this point. Check that there are no bubbles left inside the reservoir tank. Tilt the brake lever backwards at an angle of 30 degrees and then repeat the previous checking operation and check that no air remains in the reservoir tank. Next, tilt the brake lever forward at an angle of 30 degrees and then repeat the previous checking operation to make sure that no air remains. If the bubbles are still appearing, repeat these steps until bubbles stop appearing. Plug the oil funnel with the oil stopper so that the oil inside the oil funnel cannot come out. Be careful about the direction of the oil stopper. And then remove the oil funnel and retighten the bleed screw using a 2mm Allen key. In addition, tighten the bleed screw until oil flows out to make sure that there are no air bubbles remaining inside the reservoir tank. Set the brake lever to its operation position. The installation of calipers and the cable routing for disc brake hoses can be done in the same way as for the current Shimano disc brake system. Please follow the technical instruction manual closely and continue on with the most appropriate way for the front fork and frame.